I am here with Jason Doswell, the narrative director of Shadow of the Tomb Raider, my most anticipated game. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Much better here to be at the booth now.
Great.
So with Shadow of the Tomb Raider, we're seeing a darker spin on the rebooted Origin series. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, not only is it the darkest, Lara's darkest moment, it's also, there's lighter moments too. I don't know if you've played some of the demo today.
Yes.
But it's a lot of contrast. There's a lot of darkness, but there's a lot of light, some humor and some exploration in some of the areas of the hidden city.
I noticed whenever I played a little bit of it, I played like the extended demo of this at the reveal though, and I noticed some back and forth with Lara and Jonah, and they mentioned Jaffa cakes, and that made me so happy. I was like, Lara's favorite food is being mentioned. So how much can we expect to see like moments like that?
For mega fans, if you really spend a lot of time with Jonah and explore, you get additional conversations. You'll get a lot of inside jokes and Easter eggs, stuff like that. So keep your eyes open. You're going to see a lot of stuff like that.
For sure. And speaking of Lara and Jonah, they have some very like intense moments where they disagree and even like, you know, butt heads a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, as opposed to just having external conflicts with, you know, the survival and the environment, she has internal conflicts and interpersonal conflicts, and Jonah is there really to kind of challenge her when she's going too far and pushing in the wrong direction.
For sure. So how much involvement can we expect to see from Jonah in the game?
Oh, he's a critical character in the game all the way through.
That's awesome. I love that. So one thing that, you know, I've been a fan of Tomb Raider since pretty much the beginning, and a lot of the diehard fans notice with Lara's new outfit, for example, you know, it's got that turquoise color, even has some like underworld looking netting. Was that intentional to kind of like have a little bit of a classic and then an underworld spin on that?
Well, I'll say this, it's not a coincidence.
Oh, I love it. See, you guys think about us.
Absolutely.
So another thing that a lot of us hardcore fans are really focusing on is the different difficulty levels. I heard there are different difficulties not only in just combat, but in the exploration as well.
Not only exploration, it's puzzles, exploration, and combat. To me, it's one of my favorite features. If you're really a combat person, you want that to be hard, but you don't want to spend too much time in the puzzles, well, you can really get that and get more hints. But on difficult puzzles, we don't give you any hints. You got to figure everything out.
That's perfect. So what about with like the traversal, the ledges? There's like some paint or glowy ledges. Are those going to be toned down?
I mean, we talked about this at the launch event. You know, hints and then paint and giving you the hints. If you go on hard exploration, you get none of that. She doesn't tell you where to go.
Yes.
And you can't see anything. You got to figure it all out for yourself.
That is perfect. I know a lot of the hardcore fans are going to really, really love to see that. And then, of course, having the ability to alter those and change those, it really helps for the variety of different people who are going to be playing that.
Absolutely.
So can you tell us a little more about the crafting as well? We've got like the fear arrows that you guys showed here at E3.
Absolutely. I mean, there's of course weapons and crafting ammunition, but my favorite stuff is the costumes. And we call them vestiges. It's really you're wearing relics and restoring them. So you're finding old artifacts that are clothing, and you kind of craft them and restore them and wear them. It's really cool.
Now, I heard a little bit about the costumes and being able to swap out different elements of the costume. So is that true? Like if you want to swap out a different shirt with different pants or anything like that, or how exactly does that work?
All the sets have two pieces, upper and lower. There's some story costumes that are full body, but those are unlocked on the story. Okay. But the ones that you craft are really it's upper or lower, and you can mix and match.
Wow, well, that's really cool. So what's been like your favorite part of being a part of this?
To me, it's really, you know, you mentioned Jonah, just the drama, the narrative stuff, pushing the character moments. You know, Tomb Raider's always been about, you know, survival and just the environment, but bringing that into interpersonal and inner conflict with Lara, to me, was my favorite part.
That's great. I could ask questions all day. I actually do have one more. So I'm curious about Richard because, you know, he had such a big role in like in Rise of the Tomb Raider, and then just like how he motivated Lara. So moving into Shadow, we haven't really heard much about Richard. Is he going to be mentioned as much, or?
I mean, in the demo you played, he's mentioned a little bit.
I do remember a little,
yeah. But he was really the source of the story in Rise of the Tomb Raider. Now it's really Lara's story now. She's off on her own. At the end of Rise, she was just off on her own, making her own way. And now she's realizing that with that power, a hero can sometimes be a threat also. So she needs to, it's really her story.
That's great. That's like, I know a lot of us really hardcore fans are super excited to hear that. I'm excited to hear that now because Lara's spreading her wings now. You know, she's really coming into her own and becoming that Tomb Raider and not just living in her father's shadow anymore.
Absolutely.
So that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for talking with me today. I could talk with you forever about this, but we've only got a little bit of time. But don't forget to check out Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which comes out September 14th.